Okay guys, Alec Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips. Here I am back at Simcoe Diving in Barrie, great dive store. They do everything here. Hydro test, local dives, jive trips, everything. If you get a chance, if you're up into central Ontario, Lake Simcoe area at all, drop in and see Chris at Simcoe Diving. Great spot. Now, you recognize this. This is a standard scuba setup. I call it a standard setup because it's a standard setup. This is a setup that is advocated by all training agencies, certainly recreational training agencies anyway, and it's become the standard setup because it's been around for a very long time. Every diver in the world uses a setup like this, or at least recognizes a setup like this. Now let me just briefly describe so you understand what I mean. Now one more thing I want to do, because I've had quite a few videos on tech tips, and some are funny and I hope you laugh, and some are goofy and I hope you chuckle, and some are informative, I hope anyway. I know from the comments a lot of you folks have picked up some tips. Some are useless. That's why there's a lot of variety on YouTube. Yeah, go to something else. And one thing I try to do, I keep saying that I want you to learn something or have a laugh, one or the other. In a lot of my comments I say that. That's the whole purpose that Kevin and I do this. We put a lot of work into it. We don't get a darn cent for it. In fact, it costs us money to do this. If you learn something, I'm happy. If you laugh, I'm happy. Even if you're laughing at me, I'm still happy. Hey, I'm the first to admit that I'm goofy sometimes. But one thing I want to be absolutely sure that's clear is I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, so when I say here, this particular episode, for instance, the best safe second, I don't know if it's the best or not. I'm just going to tell you about different safe seconds that are available. You decide what's best for your diving. You and your buddies and everything else. You decide. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't care. I really don't care what you do. Oh, my job is simply to educate or make you laugh, or both. So, I've talked about fins. I've talked about snorkels. I've talked about safe seconds. I've talked about long hose. Maybe that was a mistake. But in all those cases, not once did I say, this is what you should do. I may have suggested that my opinion is that this is not the best for this and so on, but I've never told you what to do. So please get off your high horse. Some of you folks out there, I'm not telling you what to do. If you're happy with what you're doing in scuba diving and you're safe and it works for you and your buddy, don't change. Don't change, please. However, let's talk about safe seconds. And we're talking about, in this particular case, the standard setup. Whatever that means. We're going to call it that because that's what it's usually called. And the standard setup looks something like this. First stage on your tank, primary regulator over your right shoulder in your mouth, BC hose over your left shoulder to your buoyancy compensator, and SPG under your left arm for your SPG or computer, whatever it happens to be. And that's pretty straightforward. Now, this particular episode is about safe seconds. So let's get the safe second. You see? Damn long hose, Kevin. Anyway, this safe second. Sorry. This safe second is supposed to look like this. It goes under your left arm, under your right arm, sorry. It's in nice and tight. People say they want to get rid of this hose. That's not the hose to get rid of. Get rid of this one here, the primary. That'd be nice. But anyway, not a big deal, whatever. Here's a standard safe second. And the safe second looks just like this, and it hangs right in the middle of your chest, is where it's supposed to be. Somewhere, supposed to be in here somewhere, in this area here. But it's best if it's right smack in the middle in this area right here. And there are all kinds of clips available for octopuses. You should be able to do this, okay? Now, particularly if you have a fairly modern BC and it has a chest strap. I've never been a real big fan of the chest straps, although I'm using one now. But if there is one advantage or one benefit to having a chest strap, you know what a chest strap is? A strap across your chest that keeps the sides of the BC in so they don't flap over your shoulders. I'll show you one in just a minute. But if there is a benefit to the chest strap, that's a perfect place to hang your octopus. It's just right in the middle of the chest where it can be seen. So this is what it looks like. This is the safe second and the standard setup, just like that. Now, first of all, where's the people have said, some of you folks that get on your high horse and you say the safe second isn't good and all that because it can't be seen if I'm down. Okay, watch. I'm going to do a slow rotate. Right second stage, bright yellow. Watch. Point out. Just yell or wave. I'll see you. Wave when you can't see the safe second or the hose. You can still see it. You can still see it. You can still see it. I come all the way around. Maybe right here. Maybe it's a bit hard, but there it is again. So in virtually any position I'm in, my buddy, the dummy, that runs out of air, not Kevin, you know, he doesn't run out of air, he other problems, can always spot something bright and yellow that he can grab, and that's what it's there for. Grab, saves himself. Anyway, this is a standard safe second. This is the old style safe second, okay? And what I mean is that this particular safe second is really nothing more than another second stage. You can see the similarity, they're virtually identical. Oh yeah, they put a yellow cover on it. And that's exactly part of the development of the safe second. You need to realize that somebody didn't sit down one day and say, I'm going to make a safe second for Octopus to save divers' lives. They didn't do that. No. As buddy breathing became less and less desirable, it always was a risky operation, very difficult to you know, practice and everything else. It was just a pain in the butt. As people began to realize that buddy breathing wasn't good, and yet they wanted to have something simple and safe. In the event of an out-of-air emergency, somebody said, why don't we put another second stage on my rig? So I got one primary. I'll put another one on for my buddy, because he's always running out of air. I don't know why they just didn't change buddies, but anyway, that's another story. So here's the primary, and they put another one on right beside it. And it hung down just like that. And then maybe it got used a couple of times. And they realize that when they use a standard safe second, first of all, the diver's real close to you. You know, you can't maneuver, you can't adjust BCs or do anything else. So they said, let's put a longer hose on it. Yeah, good idea. So instead of 25 inches, they put on a 40-inch hose. So now your dive buddy, the guy that ran out of air, is a little farther away, which is smart if he runs out of air, right? But anyway, he's a little farther away. So now you can do things. You can grab a line, you can adjust each other's BC, help each other, and so on, without getting all tangled up. So that was a good idea. So now we had a standard second stage, right? Primary style, on a longer hose. Great idea. Then somebody said, well, you know, I don't want him grabbing the one in my mouth. He shouldn't do that. So let's make it bright yellow so he can find it. And so they painted. The very first ones were painted yellow, and they hung it down here somewhere, so it was a safe second painted yellow. Yeah, so now it looked like this. And then more recently, somebody said, well, you know what, let's make the hose yellow too. That was a bright idea. It doesn't cost anything. It was smart idea. So now the hose is nice and long and it's bright yellow. So this is where we ended up with what I would like to call now the standard old style, but standard safe second. There it is. Works perfectly every time. Well, you know, it's a development. It develops over time. And it has developed even more. So you have one of these, great. I remember selling lots and lots of used primary second stages. Short hose, black or chrome, to guys, and it was their first safe second. At least they had one. And then it's changed over the years. So this is what, at the very least, you should have something like. How is it improved? Well, it has. It's improved. Because you see, originally, as I've just explained, that safe second used to be just a standard second stage. It was nothing special. Well, now somebody said, let's make it special. So a short while ago, a couple of companies came out with a different style of safe second. Let me put this around my neck and I'll show you the difference. Here's the difference. Nice long hose, bright yellow second stage. But what's the difference? Well, the difference is that with this particular safe second, you can stick it in your mouth. Right in your mouth, just like that. If it happens to be, if you grab it and it's upside down, it doesn't matter, see? It goes into your mouth either way, pops in either way. It doesn't work with a standard safe second like a primary, because if you put it in upside down, the exhaust T bumps into your mask and you get water in your mouth, and it creates more anxiety at a time when you don't need more anxiety. So this dedicated, if you like, or specially designed safe second, Octopus, was a big improvement. You just grab it and stick it in. You don't have to get around or twist it anymore. Some folks have said, well, you know, you need to get it oriented in your mouth. Well, you do if it's a standard safe second like the previous one. In fact, one of the developments, I forgot about that, one of the developments when the safe second first came out, and some of the divers noticed that primary standard second stage painted yellow was a bit of a nuisance. You had to twist it around to get it into your buddy's mouth, or he had to grab it and twist it around to go into the mouth. So they actually came up with a left hand second stage, left hand. So the hose came in from the other side. So when it was pulled off the chest, it popped into the mouth a little more easily. And it still wasn't perfect. This is much, much better. You just pull this off and stick it in your mouth. Doesn't matter if it's right side up or upside, it just sticks right in. So this is a dedicated or purpose-built is a good word that they use very often in some industries. Purpose-built. This was built to be a safe second, an octopus. This is not a primary. It would be goofy as a primary. You see it sticks away out in the front and so on. This is an octopus built to be an octopus. And this was a big, big improvement. But it gets better. That's right. Again, this is a development process. Things develop and they get better, usually. They get better as they develop. They don't always get better, but usually they do. So let's take a look now at what is currently, my opinion, the ultimate safe second. This is a purpose-built safe second, once again. So here's your primary. Primary second stage goes in your mouth, just like this. And it's typically black, a bit of chrome on it to keep the price up. and this is actually Kevin's regulator. It pops into your mouth. Off you go. And then in this system, once again, you have your safe second, and your safe second hangs on a clip right there in the middle of your chest. Or it could hang this way, because most buoyancy compensators have these Fast-Tex clips on them. You can clip it into one of the buoyancy compensator Fast-Tex, or you can use an octopus clip. Here's a pretty typical octopus clip. This particular one, simple, very effective, goes around the mouthpiece, and it's pretty tough on there, you know, it's not going to fall off, and then it clips. There it goes, it clips right there to your cross chest. So you see, there it is. There's your hose, and there's your safe second hanging in front. So what's different about this one? Well, this is just a slight improvement over the last one I showed you, because this one, when you pull it off, you stick it in your mouth. Pull it off, stick it in your mouth. Upside down, as your right side, it doesn't matter. You have the hose, you stick it in your mouth. In the previous one, let me go back to it for a second. You see the mouthpiece, I'll turn this around so it looks the same. I'm choking with this damn long hose. This is the previous one, okay? And it's pretty good. It is a purpose-built, say, octopus, okay? So you see it's yellow and flat and slimline, and they call different names and so on. But you see that the mouthpiece up here is at right angles to the hose. So when you pull it off, you still have to get this into your mouth. With the new one, this latest one, it hangs there. Buddy comes over, grabs it, still in his mouth. Time me, Kevin, see how long that takes. You ready?
Ready.
Start now.
Whatever.
It's quick and easy. Upside down, right side up. It'll always be like this because you want the yellow facing out. But if he gets a stick it in his mouth. The mouthpiece, you see, is in line with the hose. He grabs it, sticks it in his mouth. So this is a very slight improvement over that prior improved safe second. Yeah, so anyway, that's all. I just wanted to show you those guys. You folks that are recreational divers, the millions of you that are recreational divers, and you all use a safe second, I'm sure you do. And there you go. And now, the other thing, safe seconds have actually become very affordable. You can buy this particular model, which just for the record is made by Scuba, Scuba, called the Alt Air, something like that. Comes with a beautiful bright yellow flex hose, and this design I've shown you, and it has a built-in Fast-Tex clip. In fact, there's a clip that goes on here you're missing.
It's on my BC.
Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway, so that's the very latest type of safe second. So if you are concerned with having the very latest, or you look at that and say, gosh, that would be really nice, there you go. That's it. Just wanted to show you the different types and a little bit about the development of safe seconds, about octopuses, and how they've changed over the past few years. I mean few years. These new developments have only been maybe 10, 12 years. Safe seconds have been around since the 70s. But they weren't the easiest to work. Anyway, there you go, guys. Some thoughts on safe seconds. And it may be the best safe second. You have to decide that. What's best for you. All right, take care, guys. Alec, Peirce, Tech Tips. Talk to you soon again.